Ladies and gentlemen and game designers, we're going to do part 4 of this series of getting to know Unity. We're going to do the Hello World project. It's the most classic and most lame project that you'll do in most programming classes, but it's actually kind of good for this. All right, so here's the steps that we're going to do. All right, make sure you have a flash drive with your name on it. Make sure you have a folder inside it with your name on it. And what we're going to do is we're going to go to Unity. And by the way, I keep forgetting to tell you this. But whenever you're working in Unity, make sure you go File, Save the Scene, and go File, Save the Project. Okay, so we're going to be done with this, and we're going to go to the Unity. We're going to go to the Unity Hub, and we're going to make a new project. And you have to choose which editor, and so you have to ask me which one. But this particular year, we're using Unity 6. And then we're going to do the Universal 3D Core. Okay, so this is going to be a 3D game. Well, it's not really going to be a 3D game, but after this, we're going to do 3D games. All right, and then before you don't just like click stuff willy-nilly, because it's like where do you want to save it? Well, this is wrong. Okay, so let's make sure we're saving it to the right spot. So we're going to go to our USB drive, and we're going to go into a folder called Brian. You're going to do one with your name on it. We're going to select that folder. And then we've got to give the project a name. So this is going to be, and then your name. I'm putting 2425 so I remember. Okay, so we're going to create project, and it's going to take forever. So I'm going to hit pause on this video while it's creating. Okay, so it took forever, but this thing finally opened. So we have a blank scene in Unity. Let's take a look and see what we're going to do next. All right, answer these questions. What is start and what is update in your notes? Start is called once when an object becomes active, like the constructor. It runs one time right at the beginning. Then update is called every frame. So it loops over and over just like the act method. A frame is a single cycle of the looping game code. So every time it does that code, that is a frame. All right, we're going to create a new C# script. We're going to name it Hello World Your Name. And to write this down, Unity uses Visual Studio, an open source cross-platform IDE for writing C# scripts. IDE is an integrated development environment. It does all kinds of things like helps you get your code right. It's a fancy text editor. All right, let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so we're going to go to Assets, Create, Mono Behavior Script. And before we do anything, you don't do anything, we have to name it first. So before you touch anything, go ahead and name it. Okay, so we have that. We can click off of it, and we double click on it. And we always double check public class hello world. All right, I keep taking these 20-minute breaks here, so I can't remember where I was at. But the first thing we want to do is we want to make sure that this name, Hello World, is the exact same name as that one. If it's not, we need to delete and start over and make a new script. But anyway, they match. So here we have start and update. Start is called once before the first execution of the update after the mono world is created. Basically, it's our constructor runs one time at the beginning. And then here we have void update. It's called once per frame. This is like our act method. So what we're going to do is, let's take a look at the code that we're going to write. Make sure you write down everything in red. Okay, so whenever you make a new script, here's the template it uses. And so you have public class, then you have the name of the script, and this means is a subclass of mono behavior. So it basically every script there's certain functions it can do. Void start does something once. Void update does things over and over again. Write this down. A script is a component and needs to be set as one of the components of an object because we're using the component system. Write that down. We'll talk more about that in a second. And where's the code? Oh, here we go. We're going to write debug.log hello world. I'm Brian Miller. So capital D, capital L, parentheses, parentheses, and then you put your text in quotation marks. Let's give it a shot here. Okay, so we're going to do this. Do we want to do it over and over again? Nope. So we're not going to put an update. We want it to happen one time right at the beginning. So where we're going to put it? Right here in the void start. So we're going to say parentheses, parentheses, semicolon. We're doing a method call, and then we do quotation mark. Hello world, I'm Brian Miller. Okay, so we're going to save this. We are going to go back to our project, and we're going to go to our so here's our hello world Brian Miller. We're going to go to our hierarchy. We're going to create a game object. So we're going to go game object, create empty. So we have our empty game object, and this needs a component. So we're going to add this script as a component to our game object. I'll drag it over here. It works better. And then so now we have this script attached to something in the scene, and so now it can work. So if I hit run, let's see what happens. And what happens? Absolutely nothing, because we didn't really do much. But if we look in the console, it says, hello world, I'm Brian Miller. So in the console, it printed out some text, and that is all that we're doing for this, our very first project. Okay, so make sure you save, save the scene. All right, let's make sure we save all of our good work. So you're gonna go to File, Save the scene. Oh, I got exit play mode. File, save the scene, File, save the project. So our good work is saved. Let's keep looking at what to do next. All right, so purposely put 3 different mistakes into the code. For example, type in an extra parentheses, answer these questions in your notes. And so you can upgrade this project, or you can upgrade the rollerball. The best one gets a prize. So make sure you do some sort of upgrade to one of the projects. To recap this whole chapter, Unity is a multi-platform development tool, so you can make games for iPhones, for Androids, for the PC, for the Mac. The visual editor has like all the stuff that helps us to get stuff done quickly. The scripts are attached to objects as components, because we're using not only inheritance but a component system. And the code is written inside a script using mono development. So make sure you get a grade for your 2 projects. Go on to the practice and real test, turn in your notes for a grade, and then go on to the next lesson. But answer these questions in your notes. What is the method that runs once? What is the method that runs over and over? And what is a component? All right, and the final part of the project is you can look up games that were made with Unity. So there's definitely a lot of AAA games made with Unity. So hopefully, maybe you've played some, maybe you haven't. So Cuphead was made with it. Hollow Knight was. Anyway, so the games that you recognize were made with it. So I want you to do a little search for games that were made with Unity. I want you to see if you can find and play a game made with Unity. So either on your phone or on the PC, and then answer the question, what game did you play? How did you like it? And then I want you to go to the arcade machine and play a student-made game on the arcade machine, and then which game did you play and how did you like it? Answer these questions, and that is it.